Been reflecting on Tom Petty this past week and some of the spiritual lessons I've learned through his music. Kind of gave some of us the soundtrack of our lives, didn't he, in some ways? His music, authentic, simple, genuine, and just the melody would get to you and make you feel good. And I heard a story about when he was first brought into the hospital before he died. They knew his situation was grave. He wasn't expected to make it through the day, and they called in a chaplain into his room, so the story goes. And he was a private man in terms of his religious beliefs and his faith, but I think it's thick with implications that happened, and the kind of spiritual man that I think he was. So here's just some simple thoughts about looking for spiritual reminders in his music, and I think we can find them anywhere. Not that the songs are written just for this, but I get hints of it throughout his music. So I'm thinking of a song he wrote called Something Good Coming. Something good coming. I know there is. There has to be something good coming for you and me. And that kind of reminds me of running down a dream where, you know that line, there's something good waiting down that road and I'm picking up whatever is mine. And those two songs in and of themselves teach me about hope and hoping for something good. That all things work together for good, that we keep looking and searching for something good in our lives and hoping that in God something good will still be coming to us. Keeping our eyes open for the good, about hope. And I think about, of course, the song, I Won't Back Down. You're going to keep this world from dragging me down, and I won't back down. And there's a lot of metaphors, a lot of spiritual reminders in this song about not being ashamed of the gospel, not being ashamed of the good news, the message we have to share. But I'll keep this world from dragging me down or dragging me around, pushing me around. Something about not being conformed to this world, huh? Something about, like Romans talks about, being transformed by the renewing of our mind, I think, in some ways. And then that song, it's time to move on. It's time to get going. What lies ahead, I have no way of knowing. Maybe that speaks to those of you who are in some transition today or thinking about it or struggling with change. Change is coming. We're always changing. And change can be good. And changing and trusting in God through it all. And then Even the Losers. It's one of my favorite songs. And every time I hear it, I think of my relationship with my wife. Even the losers, like me, get lucky sometimes. It's a song that speaks about grace, I think, in life. And then makes me reflect even more deeply on the grace that I have in Christ. Saved by grace through faith. Even losers like us, huh? Even with God, get lucky. Always getting lucky sometimes in the grace and the love and the care of God. One of the best lines ever written, I think, in a rock and roll song comes in the song You Wreck Me, where it says, I'll be the boy in the corduroy pants. And it just reminds me of all that adolescent and teenager insecurity and identity issues and makes me reminisce a little bit. But there's a song I'll end with today. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere you feel free. And there's a line in there that goes, run away, go find a lover. Go away somewhere all bright and new. I have seen no other who compares with you. And to me, it's a spiritual song. And there's also a line in there, you belong in that home by and by. But it's a song that speaks of some deep existential issues and reminds me of Song of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 3, where it says, I am my beloved's and my beloved's is mine. And I think about this song in the context of going back to love, going back to God. And I think in some ways, eyes are opened. When we go beyond this world, we die, we go back and we see kind of the source of that good music that came from Petty. See the source from which it comes. But it's talking about a love relationship here, about living in the love of God, living as a beloved, and beloving God also. And someday, finally, we will see face to face, and we will know. Just as we are fully known right now, we will fully know. So we don't get long in this world. And we're only visiting. We're just visiting here, and man, life flies. Too young for him to go. Too young for some of my friends and family members to go. So we might as well make it count while we got it. To be a light. Maybe we won't influence the world and write hundreds of songs, but we can still be the light and let it shine and show our beloved's love through our life as well. So, Into the Great Wide Open is the last song too. There's a holy yell in this song. If you listen closely for it, you'll hear it. And I won't sing it or say it now, but it speaks to me of the soul and the spirit of Tom Petty. Give it a listen. And let me know what one of your favorite Petty songs is, and if there's spiritual lessons that you have taken from his songs as well. Play around with it. Put it in the comments. I'd love to hear your favorite song and the spiritual lesson that goes with it. Until next time, may you live all the days of your life. You too belong among the wildflowers because you are also the beloved.